There is a point in life when you have to stand in front of the mirror and acknowledge, nobody is going to rescue you. Nobody is going to fight your fights, pursue your passions, or mend your wounds more than you. Sure, people can encourage you, love you, and mentor you, but ultimately the burden of your life lies upon your shoulders. This is not a burden. It's a gift, because the moment you learn to depend on yourself, you unlock the greatest freedom a human can experience. In this audiobook, we are going to uncover what it really means to be standing on your own 2 feet. We're going to discover the pitfalls of becoming too dependent on others, the strength of creating inner resilience, the routines that make you independent, and the liberations that come from trusting you utterly completely. So let's start. To rely on yourself is to establish a foundation inside you that cannot be shaken by any storm. Visualize a tree whose roots are deep. The storms blow, the rains pour, but since its roots are firm, the tree does not topple. Now visualize another tree with shallow roots. The same storm passes, and this tree topples. Self-reliance is all about developing deep roots. It is about understanding that regardless of the curveballs life pitches your way, you are strong enough to weather them. But why are so many people having trouble with this? Because most of us were taught to rely on others. Starting in childhood, we were instructed what to do, when to do it, and how to do it in school. We depended on teachers. In the workplace, we depended on managers. In relationships, we tended to depend on partners for wholeness. And while advice is good, it is bad when it crosses over into dependence. Because if you never learn to trust yourself, you'll always be at the mercy of others. Self-dependence starts with a choice to take complete responsibility, a choice to stop looking for someone else to give you permission. A choice to say, I will build my own path. I will trust myself first. This is the core. Take it away, and you'll always be wobbly, insecure, and doubtful. With it, you'll be rock solid, confident, and unwavering. If we're being honest, all of us have leaned a little too much on others sometime in our lives. And at the beginning, it is safe. It is comforting. But over time, it starts to render us weak. Think about a crutch. If you have a broken leg, the crutch is useful. The crutch provides you with assistance when you are healing. But if you continue to use the crutch after your leg has healed, your muscles atrophy. Your body forgets how to stand without the crutch. That is what you do when you rely too much on others. It feels great at first, but soon you don't know how to stand firm on your own. Here is the trap. When you rely too much on others, you relinquish your power. You relinquish your emotional power, allowing others to determine if you are loved or worthy. You relinquish your financial power, depending on someone else for security rather than building your own. You forfeit your mental authority, waiting around for someone to inform you what to do or what to think. And after you give up your power, it isn't always returned. People abuse it. People leave, leaving you shattered. And when they're gone, your entire existence crumbles as if the world fell apart, because you based your life on someone else's foundation rather than your own. This is why dependence is perilous. It makes you weak. It makes you vulnerable. The answer isn't to shun people or turn away from love. The answer is balance, to love and attach deeply, yet still be aware that you are capable of standing firm on your own. When you find the strength to rely on yourself first, every relationship is healthier because you are no longer holding on out of fear. You are choosing out of strength. So how do we actually create self-sufficiency? How do we move from dependence to independence? It starts with self-trust. Ask yourself this: do I trust myself? Do I feel that I am capable of dealing with whatever comes my way? For most, the answer is no. We don't trust ourselves. We second guess ourselves. We look to others to give. But the thing is, self-trust is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the more it develops. The following are some concrete steps to establish inner dependence. Whenever you set a goal, however trivial, follow through. If you promise to wake up early, wake up early. If you promise to exercise, exercise. Every fulfilled promise builds self-trust. Addiction most likely arises from evading pain, but it is in confronting it that one develops strength. Practice sitting through your emotions, your difficulties, your fears. When you stop running away, you begin growing. Quit blaming others for your situation. The instant you take full responsibility, you have full power, because if it is your fault, it is also in your control to correct. The more competent you are, the more self-assured you feel. Acquire new abilities. Refine your talents, enhance your understanding. Each ability you master places another brick under your foundation of independence. Learn to be all right by yourself. In quietness. This is where you find you don't necessarily need people around you all the time in order to be whole. Self-independence isn't about shunning people. It is about being so strong in yourself that you can pick your relationships on your own terms, without fear of being lost. Self-independence isn't merely a concept. It is a practice. It is constructed through everyday routines. Some are the habits of super-independent individuals. They start their day with purpose. It might be journaling, meditation, or exercise, but they get their day started on purpose before the world gets its hooks in. They trust their own judgment. They hear and they take advice, but ultimately, they decide and they accept responsibility for it. They don't let others determine their mood. Criticism doesn't break them. Praise doesn't blind them. They stay steady because their self-worth is internal. They build stability. They save, invest, and budget. Well, because money is not about riches. It is about freedom from dependency. When life brings them down, they get up, not because someone told them to, but because they've conditioned themselves to rise. These are simple habits, but if you practice them all the time, they change you. They create an inner stronghold nobody can destroy. Now let's discuss the payoff. What do you get when you really learn to rely on yourself? The answer: freedom. Freedom from abandonment. You no longer freak out when somebody leaves, because you know you'll be fine. Freedom from permission waiting. You cease waiting for permission. You act. You grant yourself permission. Freedom to forge your own way. You are no longer held hostage by other people's expectations. You determine who you are and where you are headed. Freedom to fail and yet thrive. Failure is feedback, not disaster. You know you can rebuild time and time again. Freedom to draw in stronger relationships. When you are independent, you don't cling, you don't beg. You choose. And people respect and are attracted to that strength. Now stop and picture yourself independent, rooted. A person who doesn't crumble when people walk away, who doesn't ask for permission, who forges their own road with courage. That is the strength of self-reliance. That is the freedom that awaits you. So let me leave you with this: never give your life away to someone else. Never wait for others to carry you, because you already have everything you need to build the life you want inside you right now. Learn to depend on yourself. Trust yourself. Build yourself. And when you do, you'll discover the greatest freedom of all, the freedom to live fully on your own terms.